What's up, Cancer? Welcome to the Path Illuminated. My name is Kimberly. Thank you for being here. If these messages are finding you, that is because Spirit has something for you. So let me just do one more shuffle and we will get going. Thank you, angel spirits and guides. What are the messages for the Cancer collective at this time? Okay, so first card out, Cancer, is the Queen of Wands. So whether you are feminine, masculine, or otherwise, just understand this has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with an energy. And you are showing up as the Queen of Wands. So this is very, very attractive, very confident, drawing a lot of attention. So whether you know it or not, Cancer, you are glowing and people are taking notice of your energy. I don't exactly know what you've been doing, but I assume that you have been doing the work, doing the self-care, focusing on what you want, what you need, prioritizing yourself. And, you know, it's like that is honestly the secret, right? So often we are fixated on, you know, this illusion that we can control other people, the way they see us, the way they treat us, right? When at the end of the day, everything begins and ends with our relationship with self. So I definitely feel like you have elevated as of late. Whatever you were doing before, if it was not focused on yourself, you started to realize that the best way you can invest your time, energy, and resources is on you, is on taking care of yourself, is on doing what needs to be done to get to the next level. So you're definitely focusing on practices, hobbies, people, activities, rituals that are helping you to feel more and more grounded and confident in yourself. And all of that investment that you have been making in doing the work and focusing on yourself, in, you know, reclaiming your power, it is being noticed, whether by family, friends, you know, a lover, co-workers. You are really in this embodied Queen of Wands energy, which means that people are drawn to you, they're noticing you, and this is just a reminder that you're in this energy if you did not realize it. And the Queen of Wands knows who she is. She does not chase, she attracts. She knows her worth and she does not settle for anything less than what she deserves. So that's a really wonderful way to start the reading off, Cancer. Let's go a little bit deeper. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups. And, you know, this can be about letting go. I'm getting an energy of letting go of people, places, and situations that have not valued you, that have not honored you, that have not respected you, and only taking up, holding on to, focusing on what is actually going to bring you happiness, fulfillment, emotional or otherwise. It's like you're done with anybody that is below you. And when I say below you, it's not like, oh, you're better than. It is, again, going back to the Queen of Wands energy. If it's below your standard, you're not going to bend down. You're not going to lower yourself. You're not going to lower your worth just to meet people where they are. And you can do that from a place of respect and kindness, right? It's not, again, that you're better than people, but you should absolutely never have to lower your values or standards to meet somebody. If they can't come up to meet you where you are because of the work that you've done, Cancer, we're going to ignore them as if they're not even there, right? Like, this is an easy example, right? Like somebody who is, you know, they notice you, right? They see you in this Queen of Wands energy, but oftentimes or maybe 50% of the time, there could be people that are attracted to you, but they don't actually want you to know your worth. So they're going to try to breadcrumb you. They're going to try to do the MVP, as we call it in business, the minimum viable product that they can to get your attention. And I see you looking up, looking forward, and holding on to people, places, and situations that are going to actually meet you where you are, be at your standard and your level, and you're no longer going to lower yourself to meet people because they expect you to, right? So I'm loving the confidence here. Okay, let me get a couple more cards. Thank you for being here, Cancer. If the messages resonate, don't forget to like and subscribe. One more card. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. Okay, don't be triggered, Cancer. Death. Okay, I know that this can be a really triggering energy. Card of Scorpio. But again, I really feel, especially after the Queen of Wands and that Five of Cups energy, that like this is a death to the old way that you used to operate. Cancer, you are a water sign. I'm a Pisces, and I understand, right? We're very loving, we're very, very empathetic. And as a sign, as an archetype, you are typically very, very focused on other people, taking care of other people. And I'm not saying that you're not a caring, nurturing person anymore. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. But I think that there has been a death to this old idea or old programming where you were taught that in order to be a loving, caring, nurturing person, that you had to sacrifice yourself, you had to sacrifice your standards, you had to sacrifice your old needs. And I can see that like this definitely is going to have an impact on people because you're moving in a different way. And I heard you're more cutthroat. Not that you're physically harming people, Cancer. Of course not. You're a loving, nurturing sign, right? But it's more like energetically you're being cutthroat, right? It's like you don't have time for people that expect you, right, to again lower your standards, lower, compromise your values just to like what, gain their approval for what? Right? It's like you are no longer looking outside of yourself for the approval that you have found within. You've done that shadow work, right, to know really, really who you are and to stand in that confidence. And so there is an old timeline, there is an old way of being, an old way of living, an old way of operating in relationships that it has died or is dying at this time. And I will say there can be, right, some inner conflict with that, right? Like with this Five of Cups energy that we had, there may be moments, Cancer, where sometimes you like you kind of go back into the people pleasing, and you can sort of have a moment of like wondering like, am I being too hard on this person? Like, should I be more understanding, more patient? No. I mean, like, feel what you feel, Cancer. Like, this is how you learn how to be in this, right? New Queen of Wands energy, right? Is like you're basically, as an example, this is like building a new muscle, right? Of being energetically cutthroat, that like, if it's not aligned, it's gotta die, right? Like, I might care about you. We may have a history, and you might be used to me as a Cancer, like showing up in this certain way where, like, anytime you need me, I'm going to drop everything for you, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to console you, and I'm going to da 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 da. And then when you're fine, you move on, but you don't have time for me, right? Because those are the types of relationships that it leads us to, Cancer, when we are over giving and we're in that people pleasing. And again, it's not to judge you, or it's not about you judging yourself. It's just about you learning about the patterns, the programming that has been operating in the background to make you believe, right, that loving, caring, nurturing people is about being self-sacrificing. And you are learning and starting to develop that cutthroat like energy where you're like, you know what, I've learned what it is to have healthy self-love and confidence, and I know that engaging in people pleasing is not the way to be. So like that old way of being self-sacrificing, of being people pleasing, it's dead, it's gone, it's no longer part of your operating system. Now again, there may be times where you kind of like backtrack a little bit and you question yourself, but from the cards I'm seeing, I think that like You have full confidence in yourself, and you're going to find that. Now, Ace of Pentacles came out reverse. And what I'm getting from this is that people that thought that they could take advantage of you, they're going to be very, very surprised. Right? Like people from your past that were used to you being self-compromising, people pleasing, like over giving, over forgiving, like they're going to show up to your door, right? Because they're used to you being the old Cancer, the one that would, you know, give them all of this space, all of this time, all of this patience. And it's going to be like, wait, something's changed. Yeah, Cancer's changed. Right? And if you're not coming at Cancer now with the right energy, with the right offering, right, with the right intentions, there's no room for you here anymore. So I think that some people are going to really have, you know, they're going to be flipped on their heads because they're expecting you to be the same old Cancer that you used to be, but you're not, right? Again, you're in this Queen of Wands energy where you are fully confident in who you are, and you're no longer willing to lower your standards or expectations to keep other people happy, right? Because you've done that for so long. And then what do we have after that? The Wheel of Fortune. All of the work that you have been doing, Cancer, to heal yourself, to expand, to mature, to grow, right? You knowing who you are, you taking accountability for yourself, for your happiness, right? You saying like, I'm no longer going to externalize my self-value, my self-worth. I'm done waiting around for other people to value me. When I know how valuable I am, I know how good of a person I am, that's how your fortune starts to change. Because like I was saying at the top of the reading, everything begins and ends with the relationship with yourself, Cancer. And so like if things had been, right, Wheel of Fortune reverse, where they weren't working out in your favor, as soon as you choose yourself, as soon as you start to raise your standards, as soon as you start to say no, as soon as you start to die to that old way of people pleasing, that's when fortunes change. That's when you have new opportunities at work, in business, with clients, with friends, with lovers, right? More opportunities, more than you could have fathomed. Everything starts to work in your favor. Things that felt difficult before, they're no longer difficult. Why? Because you're choosing yourself. That is the key ingredient here. You choose yourself. You die to this people-pleasing programming. You die to this need to gain the external approval of other people. You start to validate yourself, and all of a sudden, your fortune changes for the better. It's like, oh my God, why did I wait so long to do this? You know, all of us have this path, right? Like we have to learn our lessons in this world the hard way. We have to learn by trying to do the same thing over and over again and realizing like, oh, if I keep doing what I've always done, I'm going to get what I've always got. Sorry, Cancer, I just dropped the entire freaking deck on the floor. Give me 1 second. I think that's a feeling that I'm getting for these people that are going to come back around and think that they can still take advantage of you. It's like you flipped, you flipped the script, and now all of their cards are being shown, right? Because when you change, when you evolve, when you mature, right, the real ones are going to respect you for it. And the ones who are taking advantage of the old you, of the people-pleasing tendencies, they're going to be mad. They're gonna be mad. All right, let's go a little bit deeper. If the messages are resonating, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. All right, I am the Queen of Wands, and I'm here to accept all of the abundance that is flowing to me at this time, right? You deserve all of the good things, Cancer. These cards are just crazy today. What do we have over the Queen of Wands? The Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups. Whatever stories you were told, Cancer, about being self-sacrificing and people-pleasing and putting other people before yourself was a freaking lie. The moment you stepped into this energy of the Queen of Wands, started choosing yourself, started raising your vibration and your standards and not lowering them, that's when you put yourself right in line to have a full emotional fulfillment in your life. To have all of the relationships that are reciprocal, that respect you, that know what you deserve, and that treat you with respect. Why? Because you started doing it for your freaking self. That's why. I am loving this, Cancer. You are the Queen of Wands, and you deserve the Ten of Cups, baby. All right. Thank you, angel spirits and guides. Ooh. And what do we have on top of the Five of Cups? The Four of Wands. Stability in all of your relationships. Could also be a deepening of connections in general, family, friends, but also could be romantic. Oftentimes the Four of Wands is considered the marriage card. So perhaps, right, in you raising your vibration and you gaining confidence in who you are, maybe part of the Ten of Cups for you, right, because each of you are going to be different in your journey, could be a deepening of a connection, a deepening of a commitment, right? You building, finally having the people in your life that value you because you value yourself, and deepening those commitments to the place where these people start to become really pillars of your life, right? Something that you can actually build upon, right? Because when you start having those boundaries and raising your standards, the people that you allow into your life, obviously they're going to be higher caliber people, people that you can build with, whether it's family, friends, or a lover, right? Like, I don't know if marriage is in your future, but this is basically saying, right, that by you choosing yourself and the people that reciprocate your energy, you put yourself in line to manifest those types of relationships and that stability in your life, Cancer. So I love to see that. Ooh. So over death, we have the moon reversed. So the moon reverse is like no more confusion, no more doubting yourself, no more allowing the emotions of others to manipulate you or to gaslight you into thinking you're a bad person for choosing yourself. Does that make sense? It's like the moon is, you know, your planet in astrology, and obviously it's highly emotional, right? And sometimes those emotions can be very, very challenging and overwhelming, and sometimes they can be really manipulative, right? Because you pick up on the energy of other people, and you know, like, oh, if I don't do what they want me to do, they're going to be sad, they're going to be disappointed, and we take that on as our responsibility. But like, again, you are dying to this way of being, right? It's like you're finally owning the fact that, like, you're responsible for yourself, Cancer. You're not responsible for managing the emotions of other people. And yes, you will still have the ability to have that psychic, you know, energy of knowing that people are disappointed, but it's not your responsibility. And you're going to get really, really clear. And I heard very emotionally grounded in yourself as you learn to die to those old people pleasing tendencies that have been operating for so long. All right. What else do we have for my Cancer people? What else for Cancer spirit? Ace of Pentacles reverse is, we've got the Three of Cups over that. So there's going to be something to celebrate, and you might actually celebrate the people that are no longer bothering you. That's kind of what I heard, Cancer. It's like, I feel like there's going to be a point where you're like, you know what? Life's actually pretty good. And I have good people in my life that love me, that respect me, that pour into me. And maybe there are connections, individuals that you thought you were going to be sad about, like disconnecting from, and you realize, like, actually my life is a lot better without them in my life. And you may have dealt with some guilt about boundaries or disconnecting or cutting people off. But I feel like what's coming for you is a time of celebration when, like, you can really feel into the joy that you have manifested into your life by setting those standards, by cutting those people off, and by only investing in connections that are actually going to pour into you as much as you pour into them. And that is definitely something to celebrate. All right, one more card for Cancer before we close this reading out. Again, thank you for being here, Cancer. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ooh. Okay, well, we had a couple of cards come out. So we have the Lovers and the King of Coins. So over the Wheel of Fortune. So it drew me back to the Four of Wands energy. So if you're in a relationship, maybe you're in a relationship with an earth sign, or somebody who's embodying this earth sign energy, and it seems like you could be very, very aligned. And there is the potential, like I said, to deepen this connection, to deepen this relationship because of the work that you've done of understanding you know, what is yours and what is theirs. It's like you finally are letting go of any type of old programming that made you feel like you had to compromise yourself or your values, and because of that you've brought in this aligned connection. Now this could also be work related depending on your timeline, right? You know, when you again start to understand your own value and self-worth, you're going to bring in all kinds of aligned connections that bring in abundance, whether it's friends, family, lovers, or work connections or clients, right? It's like now that you have the confidence, now that you're not afraid, right, to let go of people, places, and situations that are not aligned with you, you're going to call in more and more abundant and aligned connections. So that's some really powerful energy. I'm very happy for you, Cancer. Curious to know how this is showing up for you, but you definitely have been doing the work to get to this place to build your confidence and to start to manifest the things that you have always deserved, but maybe for whatever reason, right? Again, as a water sign, it's pretty typical that we go through this time of like, because we're so sensitive, like what is mine, what is theirs. But I see a certain level of emotional and intuitive maturity where you're finally in this place where things are shifting in your favor. So we love to see it. Again, thanks for being here. I'm gonna to close this out, I'm gonna pull a card from the Animal Spirit deck. Okay, so we have got the Camel, and I'm going to read this from the book. Again, thanks for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The Camel. Okay. Resourceful, independent, knows oneself. The camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. When in balance, calm, content, a sparkle in the eye. When out of balance, dehydration, lacks vitality. To bring into balance, a pilgrimage. So maybe you have an opportunity to go on a trip with friends, with a lover, I don't know. But clearly, again, I'm getting a very balanced energy from what we read here with the camel, right? Like you have everything you need, all of your resources within. And I think you finally realize your worth to a certain level of like, oh, this is why all these people were trying to siphon my energy, because I'm literal freaking magic. So don't forget that, Cancer. You are literal magic and you do not have to lower your standards for anybody. Keep loving you. Hope the messages resonated. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.